In these next few videos, we're going to take a look at all the work in the commercial casting process that happens before your actual audition takes place. After that, we'll take a look at what happens in the audition room, the callbacks, and the booking process. Reminder, there are so many different ways things are done in the business, but this general structure should be plenty to provide you with a solid overall understanding. To start, the people you might typically find working in the casting office are the casting director, casting associate, casting assistant, session director, and interns. You may find other names at various offices because people love to make up titles, but these are pretty common. What does each of them do? Well, let's go through the process of what needs to be done, and we'll figure out who does what along the way. The prep. That's all the stuff that happens before the auditions take place. First, the casting director, or sometimes casting associate, has the initial phone conversation with production about the job. This is where they lay out the cost of the casting and go over job specifics for the roles to be cast. They'll discuss stuff like actors' rates, unions, usage, exclusivity, and all the other pertinent business details. They'll talk with the director or the writer about particular acting direction they would like to see in the audition. And they'll also go over the specs for each of the roles. For simplicity, let's assume this is a commercial with only one role in it. The specs will often, but not always, include age range, gender, and ethnicity, and they will also often specify a particular type. These can include real people types, actual real people, not actors, commercially attractive, model attractive, character types, great with copy, great facial expressions, great with comedy, improv or stand-up types, and more. Once all that information is hashed out with the director, the casting director or casting associate will type it up into the breakdown. Using a casting software like Casting Networks or Breakdown Services, they typically send it out to all the talent agents in town. Remember, we're talking about Chicago specifically. In New York or LA, they can certainly be more selective who they send it to. Chicago has about 20 to 25 agencies at any given time. We've got a pretty current list of those on our website. The important thing to note here is that usually all of the agents will get the breakdown, and thus an opportunity to submit actors. The agent refers to the breakdown, goes through their list of actors, and selects all of the talent on their roster that potentially fit the role requirements, and sends that list back to the casting director. When the casting director and casting associate have received all of the submissions, they look through the photos of all the actors submitted and decide who they want to bring in for the audition. This is often a collaborative process. Casting associates and session directors are often included. Once all of the actors are chosen for the audition, the casting assistant or perhaps interns enter the names into the schedule and send it back through the internet to the talent agents. Agents then call, email, or text their actors, either directly or through the casting software, and give them their scheduled audition time. The actor must then confirm with their agent that they can make the audition at the scheduled time. Otherwise, that spot is going to be given to someone on the backup list. Once the actor confirms, the agent will then confirm with the casting office, and you're on your way to your audition. So, the casting director can do everything. Takes in the job, talks with the director, sends out the breakdown, picks the actors to bring in, sends out the schedule, receives confirmations. The associate casting director takes in the job, talks with the director, sends out the breakdown, picks the actors to bring in, sends out the schedule, receives confirmations. The assistant casting director typically sends out the breakdown, picks the actors to bring in, sends out the schedule, and receives confirmations. The session director sometimes gives their opinion when they're picking out the actors to bring in, and they run the actual audition, but that's in a later video. And the intern typically sends out the schedule, receives confirmations, and takes the dog out for a quick walk. Now there's some pretty important stuff we breezed over, so check out the next video for more info on the process we just described that can make a difference in how you interact with the process. Hey, we're trying to keep these videos short so you actually watch them.